Hello chess mode family, GM is here with you. Welcome to the video course Crushing with Sicilian Accelerated Dragon. When with our team we were thinking what is the most active, tricky and at the same time solid defense against e4, we came to conclusion that it's Sicilian defense. And against mainline knight f3 d4, it's accelerated dragon variation. We understood that teaching you this variation would take a very long time from us, but we were fine with that. So we made a huge work researching all the tricks, best games and made a step-by-step plan how to provide you all this information to make it easy for you to digest and start to practice. It took from us many months and we are very proud of the content that we are going to share with you here. We are sure after learning all the lines and digesting all the ideas of the openings that we provide you here, you will noticeably raise your elo. So fasten your seatbelts and let's go. So we made a huge work researching all the tricks, best games and made a step-by-step plan how to provide you all this information to make it easy for you to digest and start to practice. In this section we're gonna look two smaller lines, knight c6 and f3, smaller to comparing the main lines bishop c4 and bishop e2. So let's start from knight c6. Knight c6, bc6, the idea of knight c6 is here to play e5 with tempo. Otherwise, if they don't play e5, they play, let's say, some move like f3 or bishop e2, everything is fine for us. We just do d6, castle. There is half open line, which is very good for our rook on a8. He will join from b8. Also, all the time after castle, our queen on d8 will stay on a5 very strong. He put pressure here, and also he protects the a7 pawn. So we can play rook b8, and bishop a7 would not hang. After castle, queen a5, rook b8, knight d7 is possible, so opening our bishop. Also after queen a5 all the time we play, it's possible bishop a6 move. Here is absolutely fine. Very often we play such a position with English opening with white pieces. Here we are one tempo down, but white cannot lead to anything, only we can start to fight for advantage. So after bc6, e5 is the only thing that white can try to do for gaining advantage. There is in the theory knight d5, this is interesting move, this is interesting sacrifice and play rook b8. However, after analyzing this we found that it's not enough. So after e5 we just go back knight g8. At first glance it's look a little bit strange, we are going back with our knight, giving tempos to white. However, when we look to position deeper, we understand that everything is fine here. Now the thing is that e5 pawn is hanging, and when white protects the pawn with f4, our knight on g8 very comfortably go to h6. Now next moves are coming castle, d6, knight f5. So when white played f4, they weakened their position of king. If they go to a short castle, f4 move was not very good for them, the king will be opened. And after d6, after ed6, our bishop on g7 would be open. So it's gonna be very hard for white to go to to long castle too. Let's look at this. f4, knight h6, queen d2 is the only move that it's still white trying to get something. If g4, some move like g4, not letting us to play knight f5, is very dangerous for white because we played d6, opening both of our bishops, and now g4 pawn is hanging there. So it's everything is bad for white. If not queen d2, if some move like bishop d3 and try to go to short castle. We do short castle and play d6, opening our bishop on g7, and after ed6, only black can fight for advantage. Knight f5 is coming, knight g4 is coming, bishop on g7 is very strong, rook b8 is coming, attacking the b2 pawn, queen a5 will be possible, and everything is very good for black. So after knight h6, white should try to play queen d2 and long castle and try to prevent from d6 move. After queen d2, however, we play still castle, long castle, and we do d6 move. The thing here is that after ed6, queen d6 white cannot take, because after queen d6 we take knight f5, attacking rook on d6 and bishop on e3. Rook d3 is the only move, and then bishop a6, and we gain exchange, and we have very good chances to win the position. After ed6, now bishop on g7 opened. Next move is coming knight f5, not letting our opponent play bishop d4 and changing our strong bishop on g7. After knight f5, it will be possible queen a5, rook b8, and very dangerous attack would be on this king. So white should play here bishop d4. Now we take bishop d4, queen d4, knight is coming with tempo, knight f5, queen d2, and we have a choice. First here is to playing d5. The thing here is that white can attack with g4, f5, and we can attack from rook b8 through this half open line. Rook b8, queen a5 will be possible. So after d5, g4, knight d6, f5. This is a little bit complicated position, but if you like sharp position, go there and play it. And also, if you like more solid ones, you have alternative here. You can play rook e8. The idea here is that after g4, you will have knight e3 move. And if after rook e8 some move like bishop d3, then d5, and again all the time after g4 you have knight e3 move. This is very playable, so without worrying you can go and take this ed6 pawn. However, when I was analyzing this position with black, I thought that the position of white is very dangerous, and myself I wanted already to start to fight for advantage. And with analyzing with our team, we found a very strong thing here. We found knight f5 move. White should play bishop f2, otherwise if they are greedy and take our pawn, after queen e7, bishop f2, bishop e6, this is prophylactic bishop e6 move against bishop c4, bishop c4, bishop b3. On b3, bishop stay very strong, he attack our king here, and also after rook b8, he closes this line. So bishop e6 is important move, so it's just prophylactic against bishop c4, and at the same time we develop our bishop. And after g4 we found rook a b8 move with crushing threats. Now rook b2 is coming, queen b4 is coming, and the position now of white is lost. After knight f5, if d7, this is also nothing, we just take bishop d7, so after queen d7, this e3 bishop is hanging there. After knight f5, bishop f2 is the main line, and here in the theory there are moves knight d6, there are queen d6, there is ed6, but we found a very strong novelty rook b8, after which suddenly white gets problems. There is bishop a7 move, we take rook b2, there is d7 is the main line, we take bishop d7, queen d7 and queen a5. We just sacrificed a piece, but we have very strong compensation and very dangerous threats on our opponent king. But this all lines after rook b8 novelty, it's a little bit complicated, so we kept it for our pro members, for advanced players who are very greedy too, and they want to use any small mistake of their opponent and gain advantage. So for this moment you can go just after d6, take ed6, ed6. But then after some time of practice this accelerated dragon, when you will digest all the lines, because there will be some lines that you should remember, when you already know everything and you can learn more, you can go to advanced video course and find there this knight f5, very strong move with bishop f2, rook b8, strong novelty and crushing white's position. So this is all after knight c6. Don't worry with this knight g8 move. White should play f4 and then knight goes to h6, knight f5, castle d6, short castle d6, and everything is fine.